Grace Healing. I am here today to do day 1 of 36 affirmations to create more loving relationships. That is, relationships with yourself and with your romantic partners, possibly even with those that are in your life that you have deep, meaningful connections with. So, I was guided to do this because I've been trying to um, create more of a self empowerment, taking accountability, and creating the most meaningful uh, tools, boundaries, and awareness so that we can live a more fulfilling life. So, spirit guides have led me to the book The Soulmate Path. This is one I've had for a while and been kind of going back and forth with, but this is written by Monty Farber and Amy Zerner. So what we're going to do is each day for however long this takes. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a daily thing. We might. But I'm going to try and do a video as we read through each chapter or each affirmation. We're going to process it together, and then hopefully we can um, this is just my intention too, guys. As we go through each affirmation, I want to process together. If y'all have any questions, please let me know. And maybe this will bring a little more awareness to where we are creating resistance in our own relationships. So, hey, Danny, how are you? Glad that you're here. I miss you so much. Um, all right, guys. So we're just gonna jump into it. I don't want to do a whole long intro. So this is affirmation 1. I ask for what I want because I deserve to get what I want. Lesson 1. Be brave. How well do you express your own needs? How much of your time, energy, and other resources do you allow a partner to demand of you? Problems you are experiencing with your love life may be the result of your not asking either your partner, others, or even your higher self to give you what you are entitled to have. You may have a tendency to give too much of yourself and to ask too little of your partner in return. You may be more comfortable living both for the significant other person in your life and living through them. Too many people erroneously believe that love requires giving of yourself selflessly without expecting anything in return. One can only feel unsatisfied by this kind of relationship, for it is not true love. In your heart, you know the loving relationship you seek is one where you and your partner give and receive from each other in equal measure. For this to happen, you must first identify what you really want for yourself and then ask for it clearly and directly, knowing you deserve to get what you want and need. When you practice standing up for yourself, you will finally see things come into harmony in many aspects of your life. You will be in a much better position to either improve your current relationship greatly or find a new one that will bring you much peace and joy. Problems you have now regarding your love life may be caused by the fact that you are afraid that a loving relationship will require you to give up your own life with your own hopes, dreams, and desires. So you resist doing what you know you must do to bring this kind of loving relationship into your life. It may be true that your past experience caused you to feel smothered and imprisoned by what you thought was love. But by changing your definition of what a loving relationship means to you into something you know you can live with, you allow your higher self to bring such a relationship into your life. I know a lot of the people that follow my channel are very much in alignment with what I have personally experienced myself and things that I still struggle with till this day. There are a lot of healers and a lot of people that are creating self empowerment videos on YouTube, and everyone has a different perception of what that looks like based on what level they are. But regardless, we're all still human and we are still unlearning generations of toxic conditioning. And so many of us, and it all comes back to balance, guys. This is something that has been coming up for quite a while, is through the throat, and being able to speak for ourselves in a true but loving manner. And sometimes that can come out in frustration, sometimes that can come out in anger and sadness and many different ways. But when your mind and your heart are aligned with what you know you want for your life, there's almost this calmness to it. There's this surrender and this acceptance that whatever comes from the situation of me speaking my truth is what it shall be, and will realign as needed. But so many of us throughout our life have been taught or conditioned to believe that if we speak up for ourselves or ask of our partners or ask of our friends, even our own parents, that that love is conditional. And it doesn't guarantee that if you speak up for yourself or say, I need this from you, or this is the way that I need to be loved in return, that the other person might not be aware of due to what they have previously dealt with as well. And due to our own experiences, sometimes when we meet someone that we truly feel connected with, that we feel that we are in love with and will do anything for, it has to be an equal return of saying, I am willing to let go of toxic or distorted patterns, habits, beliefs in order to create a more healthy foundation for us. You have to go through the you to get to the we. And so many times we're, especially if you've been in toxic relationships before and you've taken some time to really get to know yourself, which I feel like a lot of people really struggle with because we're scared to be alone. We want someone that we can live our life with, someone that we can grow with. But how can you grow with someone if you're too scared to speak up for yourself? To let your partner know where they may be struggling in not only giving but receiving love. And we have so many self-sabotaging ways that most of us don't even realize that we're doing it. And I think right now it's really important to just, if we're going to start with baby steps today, be brave. Be brave and be honest with yourself of, are you giving too much and sacrificing everything about yourself in order to mold to what you think this person wants you to be, rather than being your completely authentic self and letting it be what it needs to be? And if you don't really know who you are, because listen, in reality, people, I think, have a general idea of who they are, but most people don't realize that really who they have been molded to be is through their own life experiences and what they have been taught. If there is someone that has lived in addiction and poverty their whole life, they usually have a choice of either I'm going to do everything to get out of this situation because I know this isn't healthy and I choose not to continue this path, or they tend to follow the lifestyle that they have been brought into. If they've been raised in abuse and watching their parents constantly fight and argue, yet one parent has to be so submissive where one is dominating instead of being an equal united front, then that person is usually and typically going to attract a partner who recreates that same cycle. And they're going to take on one party or the other, the behavior, right? And we also pick up conditionings, addictions, and distractions from people that we have been surrounded through in our life. So when it comes to speaking up for ourselves, which a lot, even just personally, guys, and I'm going to be completely honest with you, if there is something that I emotionally need, sometimes I have a hard time speaking up because I have been conditioned to believe that my emotions are a burden. And sometimes that tends to reflect in the way that I respond and show up in certain situations because I haven't quite fully figured out how to bring what my brain is trying to process into my heart to bring it to a heart-centered understanding of what's really going on instead of the distorted emotional react like mental process, right? Because our mind can go in a million different directions and be very brutal sometimes. But our heart allows us to look at things from a higher perspective, from a broader perspective, and not only forgive ourselves for doubting, blaming, judging ourselves, and feeling that we're incapable of simply speaking what we're feeling and what we're thinking, but it also allows us to come to this place of understanding and acceptance. Okay, maybe I didn't have the tools before, maybe I didn't have the courage to speak up, but now I do. And that's by being in tune with yourself and trusting yourself to say, I know what I need from life, and I know what kind of support is going to help me when it comes from my partner. And yes, a part of this should be natural, but sometimes we have to allow our partner to understand because they've never dealt with us before. If we don't tell them, then they are going based off their past experiences, and as are you. So you have to be able to be open with each other and let each other know whether it is fear, doubt, uncertainty, whether it is a fear or nervousness or just the when you feel that you need to do something or that you need to not do something, you should have the courage to say yes or no without feeling doubt and shame about it. And that comes from you. It doesn't matter what anyone else says or does. You need to be centered in your truth. And if that person is not willing to take a look at themselves and say, maybe I haven't been coming from a heart centered place, maybe I haven't been doing as or listening as much as I should, and I love this person enough to really take a step back and listen to what my partner needs from me, and vice versa. Ask the questions, get curious. Allow the discussion to unfold however it needs to unfold. But really ask yourself, how well are you at expressing your own needs? And what are your needs? Are you doing that for yourself, right? Because we need to be able to not only believe and have our thoughts and our emotions into alignment of what we feel is necessary for our lives, but we also need to be taking action behind it. If we want, and this is one thing that I think is very, very important because we are all different and we all give and receive differently. Just because you want to say you give in a certain way and you hope to receive in a certain way does not mean that your partner knows that. And if you were both giving and receiving on your own terms and not really thinking about what kind of love your partner needs and really taking initiative and putting that into action, then you're sabotaging the whole process. But we also have to understand that we do need our own desires, our own goals, our own path, but also allowing the two to blend together, however that may look. You can't sacrifice everything that you are and believe to be validated by someone else. And I think that's where a lot of people get caught up because some people are scared of asking the right questions in fear of the response. But that response may either get, it's going to give you the clarity that you need. It might not be what you want to hear, but it's what you need to hear. And it might just surprise you. Maybe this person really comes through and says, okay, I didn't look at it from that perspective, but I do see it now. And I will make more of a conscious choice to show up in this way for you. Okay? But you have to know how to stand up for yourself and trust in yourself more than anything. This is something that's been coming up a lot because listen, guys, there's a lot of opinions in this world, and everyone's got one. But if you can't trust yourself and trust that when you move beyond the fear and move into trust and acceptance, things will unfold more naturally for you, and then you will feel more confident in the choices that you are making moving forward. So, is there anything else that we want to talk about? And how is it? This is a good question to ask yourselves too. What does it look like or feel like to have someone show up for you in equal measure? Are you allowing yourself to receive? And make sure that because in your mind's expectations of what receiving love should look like, are you negating the love that you are receiving already? Really look at how the people in your life are showing up and what they are doing for you versus what they may not be doing. And again, it's the balance. It's understanding that there are things that may need to be addressed and worked on and fine tuned, but it's it shouldn't be to the point that if we, because this is where the negativity can really start to suck you in, is when we start focusing so much on the negative and what we are not receiving and moving into fear mentality and doubt that we completely negate all the beautiful things that people will and can do for us. Um, don't overlook how your person is showing up for you. And I think it's time to I today might be a good day to tell your person how much they're appreciated and the things that you do appreciate about your relationship. And if there is anything that you would like to address, dip your toe in the water. See how it feels to speak up for a simple need, whether that be, hey, I really need a hug today, or I really need a connection. Like let's do something together and do something that you both enjoy, right? Spend more quality time together. Do something that is more high vibrational than a distraction. Okay? So, what can you do to speak up for yourself today? What needs and wants and desires do you want out of life? And are you giving your partner a chance to really show up for you? But you got to take accountability and ask yourself, are you doing the same? Are you letting fear run your life, or are you letting your heart run the show? And if you can come to a more heart centered space, you will start to feel more gratitude, more appreciation, more joy, and more understanding, more compassion, more forgiveness, and more patience for your current relationship and future ones. So I hope these messages help you guys. Let me know what you think. If there's anything that you feel that you may need to work on, or things that you would like to address, um, please write down in the comments. Make sure if you enjoy this video to hit the thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed and would like future notifications, make sure to hit that notification bell next to the subscribe button. And until next time, I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.